The purpose of this warm-up quiz is to get students working as soon as the tardy bell sounds. It also provides students with practice on previous math topics. This timer will count down for them to begin the quiz in class. The warm-up quiz answers are coming up next after all students have picked up their paper at my desk, where I have photographed each one. The following are the solutions to the previous school day's homework. Students will get 100 points if they show all work for all problems. Students will get extra points for any correct answers they obtain. All student work is photographed before they check their own paper. The following are extra credit answers for the assignment that was given as extra credit with the previous homework assignment. For today, the objective is to solve a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula, and to determine the number of solutions of a quadratic equation by using the discriminant. The following is an example problem. First, we'll go over the discriminant. So here is a problem. The problem is x squared plus 10x plus 16 equals 0.
Excuse the interruption. I need sophomores and juniors to the library at this time. Sophomores and juniors.
A long time ago, you learned that a quadratic equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Therefore, this number here, which is not 0, it is 1. And this number is b, this is c. You have a, b, and c. b does not include the x beside it. A does not include the x squared. This is what we're doing first, the discriminant. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. The purpose of the discriminant is to let you know how many solutions the quadratic equation is going to have before you work it out. If the solution to the discriminant is greater than 0, then you will have two solutions. Something or something. If the answer to the discriminant is equal to 0, then you will have one solution. If the answer to the discriminant is less than 0, then you will have no solutions. So from this example, we are going to figure out how many solutions there are for x squared plus 10x plus 16 equals 0. Again, this is the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. What is b? No. It is 10, yes. So 10 squared minus 4 times, what is a? And what is c? 16. So 4 times 1 times 16. 10 squared is 100. 4 times 1 times 16 is 64. 100 minus 64 is 36. Does this equation have 2, 1, or no solutions? It has 2 because the discriminant solution 36 is greater than 0. So we have two solutions. The following is an example problem. Alright, for this problem it is x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals 0. We want to use b squared minus 4ac to figure out how many solutions this problem has. What is b? 12. What is a? And what is c? So 12 squared is 144, and 4 times 1 times 36 is 144. If you subtract the 2, you get 0. And when the discriminant is 0, how many solutions are there? One solution, yes. On this same video, we're going to look at 2x squared minus 4x plus 15 equals 0. And use the discriminant of b squared minus 4ac to figure out how many solutions it has. What is b? Negative 4. So we square that and subtract 4 times a, which is what? And times c? 15. The quantity squared of a negative 4 is 16. And then we have minus 4 times 2 times 15, which is 120. If you find the answer to that, you come up with a negative 104. If the answer to the discriminant is negative, how many solutions are there? 0. So there is no solution for this. No real solution. So we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2 times a. The problem we're going to use is this: x squared plus 6x minus 27 equals 0. It's a matter of plugging in the items for the variables and then simplifying. A negative b, always put the negative sign to start with. If your b is negative in the problem, then you still have to put a negative number in there. Your b is already negative. If you put in a negative number, it would be negative, -3, -2, whatever. But 6 is positive here, so we just put in the 6. And it's -6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times -27. All of that over 2 times 1. There's everything from the equation put in for its respective variable. From here you have to simplify. -6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. You have a minus sign and a negative sign. That's a double negative, which means you'll change to plus. And then 4 times 1 times 27 is going to be 108. On the bottom, 2 times 1 is simply 2. So simplify some more. -6 plus or minus the square root of 144 over 2. And if you have a perfect square, then you can simplify it like this: -6 plus or minus 12 over 2. Square root of 144 is 12. Alright, so now at this point you have two problems to do. -6 plus 12 over 2, -6 minus 12 over 2. -6 plus 12 is 6, divide by 2, and -6 minus 12 is a -18, divide by 2. So 6 over 2 is 3, or -18 over 2 is -9. This quadratic equation is 2x squared plus 8x minus 5 equals 0. This one's going to come out to be a decimal. So we need the quadratic formula. It's a -b, so we have -8 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 8 squared, minus 4 times a.
Excuse interruption. Need the seniors in the library at this time. Seniors to the library.
A is 2 and c is -5. On the bottom you'll have 2 times 2 because a is 2. Alright, let's simplify. -8 plus or minus 8 squared is 64. We have minus and then a negative. That changes to plus. 4 times 2 times 5 is 40. And on the bottom that's a 4. So if you simplify again, you'll have 104 under the square root sign. 104 is not a perfect square. So what you have to do is you still break it up into two problems, like this and... Alright, so over here this is really a plus sign, and on the right hand side over here -8 minus the square root of 104 over 4. And since 104 is not a perfect square, we have to go to the calculator and do this. In your calculator on the left-hand side, you're going to have to put in -8 plus the square root of 104 and hit enter. But you're not finished yet because you have to divide by 4. So then hit divide 4 and you should come out with an answer of 0.5. We're going to round to the tenths place. And then on the problem on the right, you'll have -8 minus the square root of 104. Hit equals or enter and get an answer. But don't forget to divide it by 4. And that's a -4.5. So you have 0.5 or -4.5. The end of class quiz answers are coming up next after all students have collected their paper from the table where I have photographed each one. The following homework assignment is due on the next school day. Students must show all work to get full credit, which is 100 points. Extra points are given for correct answers. The following is an extra credit assignment. It is optional. Students wishing to earn extra points can try the assignment. They will get points based on correct answers. Congratulations, you have found the YouTube bonus, which is worth 20 points. Try the problem, show all work, do it on a separate sheet of paper. It will be asked for when we bring up the homework and the other extra credit. Thank you for watching this video from my classroom. Homework assignments can also be obtained at my website, which is www.skinnermoney.com.